Welcome to Petrograd's #1 radio station. I am Vladimir Dimitrov, and today Lenin has died. Lenin did not live to see the recovery of the Russian economy. He suffered several strokes in 1922 and in 1923, which left him paralyzed and which led to his death today. He was a remarkable man by any standards. He led Russia through a revolution and civil war, and even in 1923, he supervised the drawing up of a new constitution that turned the Russian Empire into the Union of Soviet Socialist Republics.
A moment of silence, please.
Today, we also have Vladimir Vyacheslav, and she is going to narrate the life achievements of Leon Trotsky, one of our contenders for the successor of Lenin.
Leon Trotsky was born in 1879 into a respectable and prosperous Jewish farming family. He was an exceptionally bright at school and brilliant at university. He was politically active. He joined the Social Democratic Party but supported the Menshevik wing rather than Bolsheviks. He published 2 Bolshevik newspapers, including the Pravda. In 1917, he returned to Russia and played a key role in the Bolshevik Revolution. In 1918, he became the Commissar for War and led the Bolsheviks to victory in the Civil War, which broke out in 1980.
Born in Georgia on 1879, he was born to a rather poor family. He raised much funds for the Communist Party. He is slow and steady, but very hardworking. He was Secretary General of the Communist Party and Commissar of the Nationalities. He became a leading communist after playing an important role in defending the Bolshevik city of Tsaritsyn during the Civil War.
Today, we also have our main contenders, Joseph Stalin and Leon Trotsky, in the studio. Today, okay, Joseph Stalin, what are your aims and goals for Russia?
My aim is to make Russia a better country. I believe socialism in one country. I want the best for my people. Make a greater USSR. Make Russia great again.
Thank you. That is surely wonderful. Soon, we will be having Leon Trotsky in the studio, and I will be also interviewing him on his goals and aims for Russia. Stay tuned, everyone. Now, we have returned with Leon Trotsky in the studio. Trotsky, tell us what your goals and aims are for the USSR.
I will give the people food, land, better working and living conditions, and a bright future for Russia. Better life, better future with Trotsky.
That surely sounds stunning and marvelous. Now, we are almost done with this podcast. Wait, we have something more in the works. Stay tuned, everyone. Welcome back to Petrograd's #1 radio station. Today, I, Vladimir Dimitrov, will recap on the struggles of the past few years of Stalin and Trotsky. Since today, election results have been released and Stalin is the winner of Lenin's successor. Today, I will call on Mikhail Smirnov and Alexander Ivanov to recap the events and steps of Stalin's rise to power and also the reasons why he won.
Stalin steps to power. And in 1923, Stalin the outsider, Lenin called for him to be replaced. Trotsky calls him the party's most eminent mediocrity. In 1924, a year after Lenin passed away, Stalin attended the funeral as his chief mourner. Trotsky does not turn up since he was tricked by Stalin. Further on in the year, Stalin, Kamenev, and Zinoviev formed the triumvirate that dominates the Politburo, which is the policy-making committee of the Communist Party. Working together, these three cut off their opponents, also known as Trotsky and Bukharin, because between them, they control the most important post in the party. In 1925, Trotsky sacked as war commissar. Stalin introduces this idea of socialism in one country. In 1926, Stalin turned against Kamenev and Zinoviev and allied himself with Bukharin. A year later, Kamenev, Zinoviev, and Trotsky are all expelled from the Communist Party. Trotsky was exiled to Siberia, and Stalin began to attack Bukharin. Trotsky was expelled from the USSR, and Bukharin expelled from the Communist Party, now emerging Stalin as the new leader of the Communist Party.
And to conclude on the reasons for Stalin's success, we have already seen that Stalin was a clever politician and he planned his bid for power carefully. He made great efforts to associate himself with Lenin wherever possible and got off to an excellent start at Lenin's funeral. He was also extremely clever in using his power within the Communist Party. He took on many boring but important jobs such as Commissar for Nationalities and, of course, General Secretary. He used these positions to put his own supporters into important posts and even to transfer supporters of his opponents to remote postings. He was absolutely ruthless in picking off his rivals one by one. Stalin's policies met with greater favor than Trotsky's. Stalin also appeared to be a straightforward Georgian peasant, much more a man of the people than his intellectual rivals. To a Soviet people weary of years of war and revolution, Stalin seemed to be the man who understood their feelings, and thus he became the successor of Lenin.
Thank you very much, Ivanov and Smirnov. And that is the end of Petrograd's #1 radio station's podcast. Goodbye, everyone.